Stephanie, the Brooklyn Children's Museum looks like a heartwarming place. You have photographs on your website of these smiling, beautiful children. What is the main way that you're using funds to help these kids, Stephanie? Looks like a lot of fun there at the museum.
It is a lot of fun. And what we're seeing, especially right now, is that families need safe ways to have experiential learning happening. So, safe ways to really have cultural experiences in this moment when it is hard to gather. So, we have opened our doors. We've done a lot of retrofitting of the building to make sure that our HVAC systems are safe, that there's a lot of airflow. There is cleaning happening deep cleaning of the building happening every 90 minutes. And most importantly, we've limited the number of guests who can be in the building at any one time. But what that really means is that the families who come can have a safe experience in a children's museum. And that, for a lot of families, is so valuable right now at a time when it's hard to get out, it's hard to get to museums. It may be hard to experience cultural institutions in the same way.
So, how do the children react when they get there and they get out of the apartment or the house or they get away from remote learning? What happens?
Oh, it's really wonderful to see. But one of the very first things that kids experience is just the volume of space. If you've been in a New York City apartment for the last 8 months, there may not have been a huge amount of space for you as a child to run around and touch things. So the first thing that happens is most kids run down our light tunnel, which is a long, beautiful tunnel with lights and a long water feature. And really just experience the beauty and the magic of having space to be in. But then the other thing that kids do is they experience our exhibits, which are sensory learning exhibits. We have a 30,000 object collection. And so we have a lot of exhibits that are rooted in our collection. And we have a really big exhibit about Brooklyn and Brooklyn businesses that are rooted in the communities of Brooklyn. That's rooted in the communities of Brooklyn, and kids really, really love taking the time to touch all of the different objects in those exhibits and have interactive moments.
So it sounds like now, with your funds from Investors Bank and other sources, that you are providing a supplement to classroom education that is more important than it has ever been.
I think that's exactly right. We now know very empirically that socialized learning, that touch learning, that learning through inquiry-based and object-based materials is the best way for young children to learn. And that young children need to be in spaces that are not classrooms and not their homes, and exploring those spaces independently to kind of gain the confidence as learners that they need to be successful. And so absolutely, we're seeing this as more important than it's ever been before.
You wanted to show us quickly one or two of the items that are popular right now at the museum?
Well, I wanted to share with you something that investors helped to fund during the time when cultural institutions had to be closed, and to talk a little bit about what we did during that time as well, and something that we're still doing, which is we're distributing these activity kits. They're based in an exhibit that BCM did a while back called Our City. It's an exhibit of local artists. But the activity kits are filled with art supplies like tape and clay and scissors. And what's important about these kits is that they provide an arts education resource for families at home, many of whom may not have the ability to go purchase art supplies right now. There are fewer art programs in schools right now than there have been. So these kits really have provided an important service to families. They've been distributed through a number of partners, including Women in Need, Kingston Family Residents, United for Brownsville. These are some of our community partners, as well as some of the Central Brooklyn public school districts. And we're really proud of this, and that was something that investors helped us with early on.
Stephanie, thank you for the wonderful work and services that you're providing. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Joe.